Alright, what's going on guys, it's Stubbs here, welcome back to another video, and today I am here on some Forza Horizon 2 and we're gonna go ahead and do somewhat of a grip build. Now, I haven't done one of these before, but a few of you guys have actually asked me to do a build in Horizon 2 of a car for grip racing, sort of like for Touge or for track racing, even though there is no tracks in Horizon 2. You guys still asked me to do somewhat of a grip build and see how this thing turns out. So I am in the Honda S2000 right now, the CR, which is the only one that's in the game right now, but I wanted to choose something that is, of course, rear-wheel drive and also front engine. So I also wanted to choose something that's really light and like easy to tune and stuff like that. So I wanted to choose something that was fast initially and then see how much faster we can get it after I've tuned everything. Now, I don't really want to do anything to the engine of this thing. I'll show you guys right now that there's literally nothing that I bought for this thing except for the sports tires. Now, the reason why I only bought the sports tires is because I want to do sort of like a test and see what it's like driving around like this, and then of course after I add the suspension, gears, all that sort of stuff, how is it gonna be? As you can see, I can't even change anything, but how is it gonna be once I add all the extra parts on it? But this thing, I think stock has 237 horsepower, I think. So it makes a decent amount of horsepower, but I don't want to do anything to that because I know obviously it'll be faster if I go ahead and give them more horsepower, but I wanted to keep the stock horsepower and then just work sort of on the suspension and stuff like that to get this to be faster. So also, before I go on, if the mic sounds a little bit different, I'm sorry. My audio recording software is not working. I updated to Windows 10 and it doesn't work. Like I use Audacity to record my voice and it doesn't really work anymore up until they actually updated for Windows 10. So I'm using my video editing software to record my voice. That's why it sounds so sort of normal and not like radio-like like it does before. But yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind that. But anyway, let's go ahead and actually do this. Now, I'm here really close to Castelletto because this little road here that goes all the way down and around, like just sort of swirls all the way around down to the tunnel here, is really good. Like, I love this place because it's really good to test out cars, especially for grip racing. So I'm gonna stay in the interior view of the car and I'm gonna go ahead and try to see how fast this thing is and see how well this handles. And of course, afterwards, we're going to have to modify it and tune it and see what we can do then. If you guys want, you guys can time me, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead. Okay, that's enough talking. I'm just going to go. Ready? Okay. This is actually quite fast for a car that only has like 200 horsepower. The sports tires definitely give this a lot more grip. Oh, that was full throttle and everything. Bit of fourth gear, getting just a tad bit of oversteer. I'm not getting any sort of understeer whatsoever in this thing. Oh, there's a little bit of understeer. See, there's something that we can actually work on with the suspension and sort of try and reduce. There we go. And here's the tunnel, and this is where the finish line is, right there. Alright, so it's good, right? It's good, but I feel like the only bit of grip that I can get out of this thing is from the tires. Suspension isn't sort of helping that much. The differential helps a lot, actually. So I'll see what that's like, but once I add the suspension tune and stuff like that, see, there's a little bit of understeer. Oh no, it's raining. That's not good. That is not good. But yeah, let's hop back into the hub here and start buying everything that we need for this thing. Make it lighter, do all that sort of stuff, but I'm not gonna add any extra horsepower. And we'll see how much faster I can actually get this thing to drive and how much better I can actually get it to handle. So while it's raining, let's go ahead and hop in here and do all these upgrades. So I'm not going to change anything in conversion. Aero and appearance. I am going to add the aero kits that we can get from Forza because we are going to mess around with the downforce of it. I'm going to keep the tires the way they are. I might increase the width a little bit. So let's give it some 225s, just a little bit in the front and back. There's already 255s at the back. Okay, so the back doesn't slide that easily unless you like sort of push it hard. So that's fine. Let's give it some better wheels, not just for looks, but actually to make the car lighter. As you can see, it is going to be lighter. What is it? So far, 2814 is like the lightest I've seen the wheels go. If I can get anything lighter than 2814, I'm going to put that on. So far, 2814 is the lightest I've seen them go. Alright, so let's go back to the first set here, because I don't think we can get anything lighter. So, should I just go with the RPFs? Let's just, okay, sure. Let's just go with the RPF ones for that. So, size, this will also, okay, that's fine. I'll keep the size the way it is. What else do we have to do here? So, clutch and all this sort of stuff. Transmission and everything. We'll put everything to race mode. I just won't change the amount of horsepower that this thing has. I'll keep it to 237 and see what that's like. So this should be really good now. Like once we get this thing to be like really light, and upgrade pretty much like all the parts, it should be a really good car. Now I was thinking if I should get rid of the tires and put like street tires on it instead. So it'll make this a little bit more, I don't know, more for the street than it is for the track. But sports tires I think are perfect for this thing. I mean, I feel like it has a little bit too much grip now with those tires. I might actually add a roll cage in this thing. Do I need it? Okay, it'll be pretty much 50-50 weight distribution then if I do that. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. So it'll be a little bit more of a challenge. I'll put the street tires on it instead of the sports tires. So this will be nice and interesting to see what that's like. So we're pretty much done with everything here. Now all I need to do is sort of add a little bit of a tune to this thing and see what it drives like. So I'm gonna keep the tune the way it is. I'm gonna keep everything the way it is right now. I'm gonna go drive it and see what I need to do to change on this thing. But I think it's gonna be raining, so that's not a good idea. Let's just go see if it actually is raining. If it is, then I'll just wait until it stops. Yep, it's pissing rain. Alright, I'll see you guys in a second once it stops raining. Even though I got rid of the sports tires and I put the street tires back on this thing, I feel like the steering's a lot hard. Like, I don't know, it just feels a lot faster than it is before. The steering is a little bit sharper than before. It's also, I mean, I'm doing this in the rain, right? The steering's a little bit sharper. I think if I go a little bit too fast, obviously, I will end up getting a little bit of understeer. But the only problem I've noticed with this thing right now is my gear ratios are insanely long right now. So first gear, I have no idea how many kilometers an hour I do, but like it's fucking long, or miles an hour even. So as you can see, I can do 140 miles an hour right now. Top speed. So first and second gear, pretty much the gears I'm going to use the most. Maybe third gear as well, a little bit. But those are the gears I'm going to be using the most around here. So I might bring the acceleration up just a little bit. Since this is going to be sort of I'm basically trying to make this thing fast for this area here, right? So if I bring the gear ratios closer together, I should be able to use first, second, and third gear all the time. So it will also accelerate faster. My top speed somehow is going up if I bring this up to acceleration, because I can actually reach it apparently. So I'm doing 147 miles an hour top speed, but I can also, I think, use first, second, and third gear pretty easily as well. So I'll keep that there. The PSI, I'm gonna bring the PSI down on the tires just a little bit. It'll sort of give me a little bit more grip. So okay, so with this, I'm gonna end up giving it -1 in the back. So let's do something like that, and I'll bring the caster up to about 6 degrees again, just like I do it by drift cars. So I'll leave the setup somehow similar to that. I'm gonna soften the suspension just slightly, or the anti-roll bars, I mean, just slightly. See how much of a difference that actually makes. Ride height, I'll bring this down because it's just better. And then of course we're gonna need as much downforce as possible for the car itself when we're driving. So I like the diff as it is right now at 75%. I don't get a lot of wheel spin. I don't get a lot of drifts when I go into these corners. So everything seems just fine right now. So let's give this a shot, see how much of a difference this actually makes. Okay, so we'll stop raining, so that's good. Okay, so we're getting a bit of wheel spin in first gear. So that's good. That means that we're... Oh yeah, this thing definitely accelerates faster than before now with the different... whoa. With the different gear ratios. A little bit of understeer because I'm going too fast in that corner. Also, the ground is still a little bit wet. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Okay. The braking just pulls the front in so much. If you brake like mid-corner, it gives the front like such a huge amount of grip. Look at that. That's insane. Okay. Wow. That was actually pretty quick. Okay. Let's go back up the hill now this time. Let's try to give that a shot. So we are on street tires, so this is a little bit slippy here. So when you're sort of driving up, sorry. So when you're sort of trying to go ahead to tune your suspension and stuff like that, you're gonna have to somehow sort of link all your parts together. I mean, I left everything stock because it feels solid, right? For these sort of roads. I think if I was on the track, I would have probably stiffened up the suspension a little bit more, same with the anti-roll bars, stuff like that. But also if I was on the track, I would have used different tires. But this feels kind of like good, especially with this amount of horsepower. I feel like this would be a really good like Touge car to drive. It would definitely give other cars a little bit of a scare. There you go. There's a huge difference in the suspension. Just mess with it yourself. Of course, not all of the cars are going to be the exact same, but for this S2000, I feel that the setup that we have on it now works quite well, and we didn't have to do a lot of stuff to it because the car is still very like sort of race ready as it is from factory. But very slight modification, and we got this thing to drive very well. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully I've sort of answered your request of doing somewhat of a grip build on Forza Horizon 2, and that's gonna be it. Thank you again for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.